and welcome back to another episode of What About That Woman? My name is Danielle Avery, and let's get into it, right? So, the last video I talked about, setting boundaries and only reaching out to your child's father if you're done with the relationship and you keep it strictly about the kids, right? So, this video is going to be a little different. We always talk about moving on and getting into another relationship, but what about if we really want that person back, right? And at one point I did think I wanted my child's father back, but I just realized it wasn't going to work. We were just in two different places in life. And does that mean get a divorce? No. Does that mean don't try to work it out? No. But for me and my personal experience, it just wasn't. We just were better off not being together. We should have never been together. We probably should have just only remained friends or friendly acquaintances. We went to the same church, so church members. Like, we should have just remained separate, not in a romantic relationship. And things happen, past is in the past, but this is coming from a perspective of what I would want to do in the place that I'm in now if I did want my child's father back. We're both married, so that's not even a that's not even a an idea. But if hindsight, if I wanted him back and actually actively was going after him or in the hopes of us getting back together, these are the tips I want to share with you. Tip number 1, I would say stop acting crazy. Stop trying to sabotage any relationship that he's in. Stop reaching out to him, talking crazy about, the child or even bringing up stuff about yourself. Don't send him no pictures. Don't tag him in no pictures on Instagram and Facebook and all the other stuff of you or any kind of thirst trap pictures you send to him. Just don't do it. Don't text him in the middle of the night just asking him for, the things we ask for in the middle of the night. But don't try to sabotage the journey that he's on as a single man now. Because we want to protect his peace, right? Because for some reason, the relationship didn't work out. And he's on the journey now, just as well as you should be on your journey to protect your own peace, to learn about what you did wrong in the relationship and heal from that, and then move on to be a better person, whether it's a better person to get back with him or not. But you do it for you. You don't do it just because you want to be back with him. And that's the journey that you have to respect for him as well. If he's on a journey to figure out who he is, figure out what he wants in a relationship, because at the time it wasn't, working out with you, let him be on his journey to peace. Let him be on his journey to just figuring out what he wants, right? Don't pop up at his house trying to figure out who he got over there. It don't even matter no more because he not with you, right? So just don't do anything that's going to hinder your growth of moving on. And don't be controlling. Like, no matter what happens, you can't control anybody. The only person that you can change is yourself. The only person that you can train up is your child. The only person that you can work on is basically you and your child. So you can't control what he does. You can't force him to do anything because, sometimes when we sometimes when we allow people to force us to do things, we start to resent them. And then we start to resent ourselves. So you don't want to be in a relationship where they're resenting you. So just chill out on that, right? Tip number 2, work on you. And I know that is like going around now because everybody is talking about self-love. But no, really work on you. try to see your relationship in the past from your ex's perspective. So say, for instance, your ex complained about one thing or another, whatever it is. Try to see from their perspective if you were the issue in that point. Now, sometimes they are toxic as well, but sometimes we're toxic too. So if we can take a step back and learn from those mistakes, maybe get some therapy for those issues that we had, maybe we didn't know how to communicate properly, take some time to do therapy by yourself. Let your therapist know, I was in a relationship, I was not communicating very well. When I communicated, it was narcissistic. It was me always trying to be controlling. It was I didn't see the relationship from their perspective, and this is what they would tell me. And I want to do better in my next relationship, or if we are to get back together, I just want to be healthy where I can address those issues within myself. Be honest with your therapist, because what's the point of going to therapy if you ain't going to be honest? So learn different hobbies that you like as well. A lot of times you hear people talk about when somebody asks, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. So you'll hear, oh, I like to go shopping, I like to travel. Those are good things, but there's other hobbies out there. Now, as I started the journey, I learned that I really love to cook. Like, when I was younger, I used to want to be a food critic, but then I looked up the prerequisites. And then I found out that, you had to be a chef or go to culinary school, and I really ain't want to do that. And look here, now social media age, you could be a food critic just by reviewing a restaurant, and you could become a whole influencer. So, I should have, went on with my dreams. But there's so many things that I'm finding out about myself now and learning about myself that I really want to encourage you. Start doing stuff that you thought you probably wouldn't even have done. So I do like to travel, but while I'm traveling, I want to go on excursions. I want to do things. We went to Jamaica last year, and last year before the shutdown, and we went to Dunn's River Falls. Now, I'm not active at all. Like, I have a desk job, and I need to get active because of my health. So I need to really focus on losing weight, getting active, and being the best person that I need to be. But going and hiking up a wet and slippery rock was not my idea of fun. But y'all, I had so much fun. Just and if you haven't been to Dunn's River, or if you have been, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't been to Dunn's River Falls, it's like a team building exercise. And you hear about, the jobs doing team building exercise, but this is actually you and a group of strangers. You might even, if you're going on a trip with a group of friends, y'all can be together. But basically, I'm holding on to the person in front of me. My husband was behind me, so I'm holding on to him too. But I gotta hold on to this other person. And I'm glad it was a nice, strong man because some of those rocks were slippery. I couldn't even pull myself up, but he was able to help pull me up. And, my husband was behind me pushing me up. So it was like, we got to help each other. And that was amazing. Just stepping out of my comfort zone doing that. I could have been like, no, because what if I slip and slide and fall and hurt myself? We even did the little extra things on Dunn's River. So they're taking video of you the whole time. They're taking pictures. You're acting crazy. The guys at the excursion, they're really fun, right? So they're taking pictures and everything. And then at certain points of Dunn's River, you can take special pictures where you like sliding down, being submerged under the water, you falling back with the people you with. They can take a group picture of you towards the top of the rock. And then you have to be actively listening. So it was a great experience. But even those little things were building up and teaching me certain things about communication, about, me needing the help of others. And I had to trust a strange man that he wasn't going to let me go. And we all wore water shoes so we wouldn't slip on the rocks or whatever. But knowing how dangerous that is and putting my trust in other people for that one exercise, it taught me so much about myself. So just putting ourselves in different positions to, travel. Don't just sit in a hotel. Don't just sit on the cruise ship. Go to different places, experience different activities, because you never know. I have a friend that is in a bowling league. Like, I would never think to join a bowling league. I like bowling, but I would never think to have that as a side hobby. Or it's people that skate. Like, if you want to go to a roller rink and then you do all those dances and you do backwards dancing, not backwards dancing, backwards skating, then that's something that you can do. They have like special nights where you are not expert skating, but basically like it's not for beginners. I guess it might be like more of an expert type thing where there is a lot of people who do those like crisscross, like the stuff you would see on ATL. So get out there, learn who you are, learn what you like to do. Yeah, you like to shop, but what else? Because you can't always be spending money all the time, especially if you don't have it. And being a single mom, if you are not making a certain amount of money on your own, you probably don't have it. So don't waste your money on things that won't give you any memories. You can't take these clothes with you when you die. You can't take the memory either, but at least you'll be making memories with other people. You'll enjoy life a little bit more, and it won't be so superficial. So also learn about self-care, right? Self-care is not just the outward appearance. Self-care is not just you getting your nails done, getting your hair done. It's not just you putting on some lip gloss and feeling good about yourself on the outside. It's also about working on the inside. Have you given your life to Christ? Have you healed from some generational curses? Have you healed from this relationship that you were in prior to being with your child's father? Have you healed from your childhood past? So there's a lot of layers to self-care. Yes, beautifying the outside does make you feel a little bit better about yourself, but that's not going to last. You're not going to be, that Coke bottle figure forever. You're not going to be wrinkle free forever. And I know they say black don't crack, and it don't, but there's more about you as a person than just the outward appearance. It's a holistic approach that you need to take with self-care. So definitely work on you. And for my final tip number 3, don't date the guy that your ex thought you was going to be with anyway. So sometimes in relationships, there's always that what if guy. Sometimes. And your mate, your child's father, they've been with you. They know. They know who wants you. And one thing, they're a guy, so they can tell who's really, a friend and who's really not a friend. And I hear a lot of guys say that guys don't normally just be friends with women just to be friends with them. It's always the possibility of when he act up, I can just slide on in, right? Don't date that guy that your ex was always complaining about if you want to get back with your ex. Like, that is ridiculous, because even though it's gratifying you at that one moment, or even if y'all do have a lasting relationship, there is a slim chance of you reconciling with your ex. Because, even in the reconciliation process, the forgiveness process, you might end up, maybe going out on another date eventually after y'all healed, and, you want to try it again. See if it works, because, you still have children and, you want to raise a family. But when y'all become honest about the things that happened while y'all weren't together, for any reason, if you bring that ex up, I promise you, if your child's father is not strong enough, they will hold it over your head. It might not be a continuous hold, but it's going to come up. And you know, I'm talking from a perspective of a church girl, so a lot of times we end up dating somebody that are either in our church or connected to us somehow, and it's like everybody knows everybody, right? So if that person if you get back with your child's father and they have to see that person every time, they're gonna be side-eyeing you every time you go speak to them, or every time that person come around, like, are they still together or whatever. So it's kind of hard to get over that. So that's like a small tip, but just don't do it. Or you could be like, you know, whatever you did in your relationship while we were separated, that's none of my business. And whatever I did while we weren't together, that's none of your business. We just going to start fresh. Let me know how that go, if that works for you. But sometimes they just want to know what happened to make sure you wasn't with that person they thought you was going to be with. Reconciliation is good. I'm not saying it didn't work for me. I don't even, it wouldn't have worked for me. I don't think so. But it's good for, you know, the kids to be raised in a household with both their biological mother and their biological father. It saves you from having to deal with a lot of the mental issues that come with being in a co-parenting or in a blended family relationship. So, whether that's you looking at his relationship and wanting to, you know more about what's going on over there, even within your own family, when you date and you bring other people around your kid, it's like sometimes you be like one eye closed, one eye open until that person proves themselves trustworthy, they're not a pervert or anything around your kids. So it's a lot of mental things in all aspects of co-parenting that you go through, that if you just reconcile with your child's father and y'all were the best people for each other, it would cut out all those co-parenting blended family issues. But if you're able to co-parent in a positive way, that don't even apply to you. But reconciliation is good. I have seen people been divorced for years get back together. So if that's something that you're interested in, or that's something that you did as a single mom, or whatever your situation is, please leave in the comments, share your story. I want to respond to you and, you know, hear how your perspective is on this issue. So like this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to What About That Woman. If you would like to join our tribe on Facebook, hit the link in the caption section and join. Like, we have over 200 women in the group and we want to be part of your village. So thank you for watching another video from What About That Woman. Please tune in next Monday as we bring another topic. Bye.